Benchers leave granted as prayed.
As the chairman pleases.
The chairman of the Board of Benchers, His Royal Majesty Albert Akpomuje, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Fellow Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, Eyawe Alaka the Oworode of Olomu, Life Bencher, the Vice Chairman of the Board of Benchers, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekereku, GCON Life Bencher, the immediate past chairman of the Board of Benchers, Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariwola, GCON, former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Life Bencher, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Olasunkami Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, past chairman of the Board of Benchers, the chairman of the Council of Legal Education, Chief Emeka Ngige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, OFR DSSR Life Bencher, distinguished and honorable members of the Board of Benchers, honorable justices and grand caddies here present, the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Maazi Afamosigwe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, members of the Inner and Outer Bar, distinguished senators and honorable members of the Federal House of Representatives, executive governors and deputy governors here present, our royal fathers, my predecessor, Professor Isa Ayato Chiroma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, proud parents, guardians, and relations, and with the leave of the chairman, Board of Benchers, my husband, Dr. Olatunde Odushote, who is witnessing a call to bar ceremony for the first time, ladies and gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with a profound sense of honor and privilege that I welcome you all to this solemn and historic ceremony for the formal admission of successful candidates into the Nigerian Bar following their performance at the December 2025 Bar Final Examinations. This occasion stands as a monumental milestone for our institution, and it is uniquely historic for two distinct reasons. First, the conduct of this event marks my maiden call to the bar ceremony since assuming office following my appointment as the 10th Director General of the Nigerian Law School by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. And second, and more symbolically, this ceremony represents a historic shift as it is the very first call to the bar in the long history of our institution to be conducted under the stewardship of a female Director General. For these significant milestones, I express my deepest gratitude to the Almighty God for His boundless benevolence. As I lead this great institution forward, I trust in His wisdom, inspiration, and strength to build upon the selfless and enduring labors of my distinguished predecessors, ensuring that the legacy of excellence at the Nigerian Law School is systematically elevated. Sustainable growth and development at the Nigerian Law School. The Legal Education Act of 1962 established the Council of Legal Education to provide vocational training for law graduates aspiring for call to the Nigerian Bar. The Nigerian Law School, which is the training arm of the Council of Legal Education, is a multi-campus institution with headquarters in Abuja. The Nigerian Law School has sustained its enviable growth and development for over 6 decades as the pace-setter bar vocational training institution on the African continent, not just by training students from sister countries such as Cameroon, the Gambia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, among others. We have also granted mentoring resources to desirous law schools across Africa from time to time. Nationally, The Nigerian Law School has continued to creditably discharge the statutory duty of training all persons seeking to become legal practitioners in Nigeria. Apart from single-handedly training the personnel for an entire arm of government, that is the judiciary, made up of all judges of the various courts in Nigeria, including the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Nigerian Law School has also contributed significantly to meeting the manpower needs of the executive and legislative arm of government in Nigeria. It is also a salutary tribute to the school, recognizing the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, all state attorneys general and commissioners for justice, and law officers serving in their chambers as products of the school. From its humble beginning in 1963 with just 8 students at its one-block campus at 2138 Igboshere Road, Lagos, the Nigerian Law School has grown to a 7-campus institution spread across the country. We have campuses in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Enugu, Yola, Yenegua, and Port Harcourt. And we have a current intake of 7,785 students. This is an eloquent testimony to the healthy astronomical growth, not just of the Nigerian Law School as an institution, but also the legal profession in Nigeria. In over 60 years of its existence, the school has had uninterrupted academic sessions, as there has never been any incident of a closure of the institution on account of student unrest, strike action by staff, or for any other reason. This is a rare quality in academic institutions in Nigeria today, and therefore deserves commendation, reward, and emulation by other institutions of higher learning. Our institution has zero tolerance for cultism and other menace bedeviling high institutions in Nigeria today. The secret of this remarkable feat is the insistence of the Council of Legal Education on good character of students as a condition for both admission into the Nigerian Law School and recommendation for call to the bar by your august body. Products of the school have commanding presence in all spheres of human endeavors, locally and internationally, such as the armed and paramilitary forces, captains of industries, international corporations, the oil and gas, banking and finance, insurance sectors, as well as the corporate world in general. Professors and lecturers in the universities and local tertiary institutions and across the globe also make it against the foregoing illustrious attainments of the Nigerian Law School in its years of existence. The but very unfortunate. An institutional appeal, compliance with admission quota. Distinguished guests, colleagues, and stakeholders, the issue of oversubscription in our law faculties has become an almost intractable challenge, notwithstanding the strenuous efforts of my predecessors. Even though some faculties and colleges of law are currently serving moratoriums imposed by the Council of Legal Education, many universities continue to flagrantly violate our approved admission quotas. Mr. Chairman, sir, permit me to reiterate the unalterable position of the Council of Legal Education on this sore issue. The days of shielding or managing non-compliant institutions are firmly over. Moving forward, the Council of Legal to abuse of guidelines stipulated by the Council. A situation where the faculty is accredited to train only 100 students, deliberately admits, trains, and graduates over 400 students is a classic recipe for the administrative and operational chaos we now experience regarding admissions into the Nigerian Law School. This reckless oversubscription creates an artificial backlog of aspirants, and this strains their resources to a breaking point. Most unfairly, it inflicts a severe toll on the dedicated staff of the Nigerian Law School, who are forced to run grueling back-to-back lecture cycles and double streams just to clear the human backlog created by this non with the unflinching financial commitment of the federal government, alongside the benevolence of our alumni sets, philanthropists, and corporate bodies, the Nigerian Law School, under the supervision of the Council of Legal Education, possesses the full capacity to absorb all law graduates legitimately trained by accredited institutions, provided they operate strictly within the approved. Never be misconstrued as a limitless reservoir designed to accommodate flagrant regulatory abuse. Furthermore, parents and guardians must remain deeply circumspect regarding the accreditation status and quotas of the universities where they send their children and wards to study law. Ignorance of the law remains no excuse. Infrastructural renewal and interventions. At this juncture, Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of the Body of Benchers, I wish to place on record our profound appreciation for the immense support of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, towards the comprehensive overhaul and expansion of the training facilities at the Nigerian Law School. This administration's unprecedented intervention stands as a historic milestone in the development of our institution. In the same vein, I wish to gratefully acknowledge the recent critical interventions and contributions of stakeholders to the Nigerian Law School. The list is long and time wouldn't permit me to mention everybody, but I would like to mention just a few. Number one, I'd like to acknowledge the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Nyesom Wike, Life Bencher, who on Monday commissioned 10 units of 4-bedroom apartments for the staff at the Abuja campus. And then His Excellency also handed over to us the certificate of occupancy of the Abuja campus at no cost to the campus. We also have set donations, law school alumni set of 1975, 1976, and 80, to mention a few. And we also have individuals who have contributed to the campuses, and they include the chairman of the Body of Benchers and the family of late Mr. H.A. Ladner, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, who donated his books to the Lagos campus. At the risk of appearing insatiable in our request, we must confront the reality that the immense cost of providing cutting-edge, world-class legal education engineered to make our products globally competitive in the modern marketplace can never be borne by the federal government alone. The institutional demands of running a world-class professional training system are vast and continuous. It is on this note that I extend a passionate and earnest appeal to public-spirited individuals, corporate organizations, and the esteemed alumni of the various sets and campuses of the Nigerian Law School to urgently partner with us in this noble cause. We have curated a comprehensive, prioritized list of our institutional needs, spanning technological upgrades, library resource expansion, and infrastructural developments. The Office of the Director General stands fully prepared to make this list available for your kind consideration and immediate intervention. Together, let us invest in preserving the golden standard of the Nigerian bar. Vision for the future, the Arise mandate. Mr. Chairman, distinguished benchers, while we look to the generosity of our partners and stakeholders to bridge our immediate physical gaps, we do not view the future of the Nigerian Law School through the lens of dependency. Rather, our requests are anchored on a clear transformative vision, a dream engineered to fundamentally uplift this institution and redefine the face of legal education in our nation. This dream, which we are actively integrating into the core mission and vision of the Nigerian Law School, is structurally captured in our Arise mandate. A represents academic excellence, R represents research and development, I represents infrastructural rebirth, S represents sustainability and capacity building through stakeholders' participation. E represents enhanced technology and digitalization. Put succinctly, the Nigerian Law School under my watch is unyielding in its focus to groom a 21st century lawyer, one who is deeply imbibed with the timeless ethos of excellence in learning and character, possesses a penchant for cutting-edge legal research, and holds the unique capacity to seamlessly connect the wig and gown with developmental governance. Our goal is to raise these professionals within an environment that is truly conducive to the emergence of leaders in the global legal marketplace, leaders who are prepared to ethically leverage technology and artificial intelligence for advanced learning and service delivery. No doubt, this mandate appears daunting, but I am firmly persuaded that it is attainable. To this end, my colleagues across the academic, administrative, and technical units of the Nigerian Law School have passionately committed themselves to its total realization. This commitment was recently solidified during our intense academic and administrative capacity building management retreats held in February and March of this year. I can confidently assure you, Mr. Chairman, that through the cascading of this mandate by our dedicated staff across all campuses, we are already witnessing a profound reawakening of our student populace to the true vision and mission of the Nigerian Law School. Presentation of the December 2025 bar final examination results. Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the Board of Benchers, I now have the singular honor and privilege of presenting at this call to bar ceremony a total of 610 candidates who successfully navigated the rigors of the December 2025 bar final examinations. I am exceedingly pleased to report on the commendable performance recorded by these candidates, the details of which are highlighted in the general performance summary below. A total of 7,601 sat for the examination. Candidates graduating with first-class honors, 212. Candidates graduating with second-class upper division, 1,216. Candidates graduating with second-class honors, lower division, 2,958. Candidates graduating with a pass, 1,618. A total of 6,003, although 6,000 students are being called to the bar from that set. And then 2 candidates from previous sessions, February 2025 backlog sets, and 7 candidates from previous call. Mr. Chairman, as I present these successful aspirants for admission into a noble profession, I wish to firmly assure everyone present that the Nigerian Law School, under the strict supervision of the Council of Legal Education, shall remain the ever-vigilant gatekeepers of our revered, ancient, and noble profession. As teachers, mentors, and administrators, we pledge to continually uphold the uncompromised standards, ethics, and enduring integrity of the Nigerian bar. To the new wigs, to the candidates standing on the threshold of history today, I offer my most sincere congratulations. I also warmly felicitate with your proud parents, guardians, and relations whose sacrifices and unwavering support have made them vital parts of this memorable and auspicious occasion. No doubt, today is a day of profound joy for you all, marking the realization of your long-held dreams of joining the ranks of the noble profession of law. As you step forward, I commit you all into the hands of the Almighty God and the word of His grace. I pray that you may enjoy a remarkably rewarding and distinguished career at the bar. I enjoy you all, like Caesar's wife, to remain perpetually above suspicion and above board in your character. Seek excellence in all your endeavors and let your practice be driven by the advancement of the public good. Learn to delay gratification and imbibe the timeless values of godliness with contentment. I assure you that if you do, this profession will reward you beyond measure. Let the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners become your companion from this day forward and daily adhere to its norms and ethics. I wish you the absolute best as you forge your path into the future. A sincere appreciation, may I at this time respectfully seek the leave of Mr. Chairman and the distinguished members of the Body of Benchers to express our profound gratitude to our supervisory ministry, the Federal Ministry of Justice, led by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Olasunkanmi Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher, as well as the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Mrs. Beatrice Jeji Agba, MNI. We are deeply grateful for the institutional support and administrative guidance consistently extended to the Nigerian Law School. Your actions are a clear demonstration of a firm belief in a functional world-class education for Nigeria. We're also grateful to the Council of Legal Education, chaired by Chief Emeka Ngige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Life Bencher. And we're also grateful to the chairman, the distinguished members, and the secretariat of the Body of Benchers for their constant support, seamless cooperation, and enduring encouragement, which have remained vital to the fulfillment of our statutory mandate. Finally, I must specially commend the uncommon dedication and excellent work ethics of both the academic and non-academic staff of the Nigerian Law School. These men and women work tirelessly and most times far beyond the call of duty to ensure that the vital task of producing the legal manpower needs of our nation is successfully and qualitatively attained. Affirmation of learning and character. Esteemed Chairman of the Body of Benchers, sir, and distinguished members of the body, I now have the distinct honor to present to you the candidates here assembled for call to the Nigerian Bar. They desire to and are fully eligible to become members of the learned and noble profession of law. They have successfully completed the rigorous vocational training at the Nigerian Law School as prescribed by the Legal Education Act of 1962. They have all undertaken the prescribed professional examinations, completed the traditional dining terms, and satisfied all other institutional conditions set by the Council of Legal Education. I am exceedingly happy to affirm that these aspirants exhibited the highest levels of decorum, discipline, and good manners throughout their training. They have been thoroughly groomed in the finest ethics, traditions, and ethos of our noble profession. Together with the academic and non-academic faculties of the Nigerian Law School, we have closely monitored these aspirants during their residency, and I confidently vouch for each one of them as men and women of learning and character as demanded by your august body. The screening committee of your distinguished body has carefully perused the academic and disciplinary records of each aspirant and found them worthy to be presented for call to the Nigerian Bar. I hereby attest without reservation that they are fit and proper persons for call and admission to the Nigerian Bar. Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully and on my honor present to the distinguished body of benchers the following 1,507 applicants, being part of the total list of qualified applicants for call to the Nigerian Bar at this historic ceremony. Thank you for your kind attention, and may God bless the Nigerian Bar.
by the powers conferred on the body of benchers by Section 3, subsection 1 of the Legal Practitioners Act, and by the powers conferred on me as chairman of the body of benchers by Regulation 16 of the Body of Benchers Regulation 1983, I hereby admit each and every one of you, 1,507 applicants herein present, severally to the bar as barristers and solicitors of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. You may now put on your wigs. And to show your loyalty to members of the body of benchers, may all of you bow to them.
I have been mandated by the chairman of the body of benchers to appeal to all guests, parents, and guardians who are here to maintain some form of silence while proceedings are ongoing. All phones should either be switched off or placed on silent mode. Thank you in anticipation of your cooperation with us. May I respectfully at this point invite the chairman of the body of benchers for his address and charge to the new weeks. Mr. Chairman, sir.
The Vice Chairman, Body of Benchers, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekerekun, GCON, Chief Justice of Nigeria. The immediate past Chairman, Body of Benchers, Honorable Justice Olukayode Arewola, GCON. Past Chairman, Body of Benchers, here present. Former Chief Justices of Nigeria, here present. President of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister for Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, Live Bencher. Distinguished Live Benchers and members of the body of benchers. The Chairman, Council of Legal Education, Chief Emeka Ngige, OFR, SAN. The Director General, Nigerian Law School, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mazi Afam Osigwe, SAN. Honorable judges and caddies, please permit me to specially welcome His Royal Majesty, Engineer Matthew Igbe, who is a royal father from Delta State. Distinguished and honorable members of the National Assembly, members of the Inner and Outer Bar, Your Royal Majesties and Grand Caddies, the new weeks, proud parents and guardians, special invitees, yes, may I humbly ask the new weeks to sit down. It is with great pleasure and absolute reverence to the Almighty that I welcome you all to the call to the Nigerian Bar ceremony of students of the Nigerian Law School who successfully completed the 2025 Bar Final Examination. This is a statutory duty conferred on the Body of Benchers of Nigeria by virtue of Section 3, subsection 1 of the Legal Practitioners Act. No doubt, this ceremony marks a milestone achievement in the annals of the legal profession in Nigeria, with the formal admission of new entrants, often referred to as new wigs, into the only learned and honorable profession of law known to the world. First, let me congratulate the new wigs who are being called to the bar today. Your journey to today's call to bar ceremony started in earnest when you decided, and very rightly too, to choose to read law after your secondary school education, consequent upon which you gained admission into the respective faculties of law in your universities and your eventual admission to the Nigerian Law School. It may have taken some of you a minimum of 10 years less the number of years you spent in your primary school, making a total of about 16 years. You may have labored in all the educational institutions aforementioned to reach this enviable height you are today by being called to the Nigerian Bar. Secondly, let me also congratulate the proud parents and guardians who labored hard to see you through all your studies in school. On behalf of the Body of Benchers, I wish to appreciate all parents and guardians for making sure your children or wards belong to this honorable profession by the sacrifices you made financially and otherwise to make them what they are today. You can, from now on, enjoy the fruits of your hard labor on them. And I pray that by His grace, your labor cannot and will never be in vain. No doubt, the first phase of your life as new wigs in your journey to be a member of the legal profession, you have reached the top of the ladder, and this deserves celebration. However, after the euphoria of the celebration, particularly seeing yourselves in the mirror with a beautiful professional outfit only reserved for those who are learned like you are today, you will soon find out that you are at the bottom of the ladder, from where phase 2 of your career as a lawyer will begin after being called to the Nigerian Bar today. It is for this reason that we address you as new wigs. However, with hard work, tenacity, grit, and most importantly, God's grace and guidance, you will ascend to the pinnacle of the profession, which is my fervent prayer to you all. We often observe the audacious move by new wigs with no previous experience in legal practice after being called to the bar, up to their own, to start up their own practice, or open shop as referred to in legal street parlance, with themselves as the legal practitioner piloting themselves in practice with no previous experience or gaining any tutelage or experience under a senior lawyer. This is a common trait, particularly with some of you who are senior citizens above 60 years of age, relying on your biological age and work experience through connection in other fields to venture into legal practice without being under a principal. Need for you to work under a senior. My advice, which past chairmen of this body have always done consistently in previous addresses to new wigs, as I am doing now, is to advise new wigs on the imperative need to begin your practice under a senior with considerable years of practice to learn the rudiments of practice of law. It is not just an advice, but something which I employ every new week to comply with in the bid to have a solid foundation in legal practice. You will soon find out that your brilliant academic performance and qualification may not be the only basis of success in practice in the courtroom. Another recommendation in this regard is identifying and seeking the guidance of a mentor in the profession who will act as a guardian to your journey into this tedious and rewarding legal practice. Worried by the increasing number of persons being called to the bar annually, with the last count of about 10,000 lawyers called last year, including the low standard notice of some of the junior lawyers in courts, the body of benchers, as part of its statutory duties and responsibilities to regulate the legal profession in Nigeria, took the bull by the horn and set up a mentoring committee of the body of benchers with a program to have members, to have mentors for new weeks who care to avail themselves of this unique opportunity to attach themselves as mentees to senior lawyers for guidance in their legal practice. The program, I must confess, is still work in progress, but the body of benchers is hopeful that the program will crystallize to perfection in a short while. I implore all of you being called today to take part in the mentoring program of the body of benchers. The increasing number of persons called to the bar. As you must have been aware, the body of benchers is the highest body of distinction in legal practice. It is made up of persons who have attained the highest distinction in the legal profession by virtue of the Legal Practitioners Act. The primary duty of the body of benchers is to call new entrants to the Nigerian bar. Beyond this, it regulates the profession in Nigeria, which includes, but is not limited to, the number of persons to be called to the bar at any given time. One grave concern of the body of late is the large number of persons being called to the bar annually. As a regulatory body, we owe a duty to the government, the people of this country, and in particular, the noble profession of law, to ensure that admission into the honorable profession does not become an all-common affair, as this inevitably have the propensity to reduce the standard expected from the noble profession. Apart from just calling persons to the bar, the body of benchers is very concerned with the quality and standard of those admitted to the bar to practice law in Nigeria. For those of us already privileged to practice law, and by extension those being accorded that rare honor today of being called to the bar, we are very much aware of the fact that with no iota of apology, that our noble profession is number one in the world. As such, it is expected that aspirants to the bar must be the best out of the best, and further ensure that after being called, that standard of being the best is maintained either in character or learning. The body of benchers have observed from the committee set up to address this issue of an astronomical increase in the number of those wishing to be admitted to the bar as lawyers, and from information gathered, particularly the Nigerian Law School, which the DG has alluded to in her speech, the problem is usually from the universities who do not keep within the quota allocated to them. I think the DG has said so. The only thing I have to add is that if the trend continues, we may be forced to apply some sanctions, including the accrediting the university, either permanently or on suspension. Furthermore, every professional body is regulated with respect to the number of those to be admitted into the profession in any given year and time, based on needs by the society. For the legal profession, the Body of Benchers and Council of Legal Education are guided by the needs for legal services in the country, which form the basis of the quota allocated to the university, including the facilities on ground and the ability of the Faculty of Law to produce law students of the highest standard to be called to the bar by the Body of Benchers. The Body of Benchers cannot afford to produce lawyers when there are not enough jobs to accommodate them. Hence the need to regulate and put a benchmark on those to be called in any given year. This also take care of situation where members of the bar, after call with no office, start for briefs at the magistrate courts, waiting at the police station to grab overnight briefs of those arrested and charged to court, which has earned the embarrassing name of what is popularly known as charge and bail. As the regulatory body, we must ensure that members of the profession do not bring themselves low to this level. Worried by the above, the Body of Benchers has set up a committee to advise on the number of aspirants to be called to the bar in any given year. Since the problem usually emanates from some of the universities, there's a need to now keep records of law students admitted in any given year by the university, which will be monitored strictly to ensure that the universities do not exceed their quota of admission. Issue of indiscipline after being called to the bar. The beauty of the legal profession is that it has its professional ethics which regulate the conduct of members. By law, the discipline of erring lawyers is the responsibility of the Body of Benchers, which the body exercises control through the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee as stipulated under the Legal Practitioners Act. On the other hand, the responsibility of discipline of judges, who together with the bar make up the legal profession, fall within the jurisdiction of the National Judicial Council. One of the courses offered at the Nigerian Law School is professional ethics, which the law school takes very seriously. Having passed the exam in professional ethics, it is believed that this is the beginning. While carrying out your professional duties anywhere and in any capacity, you must remember to recall all you learned under the subject professional ethics to guide you in what type of conduct amounts to professional misconduct, which in summary is any conduct unbecoming of a lawyer. One thing you must avoid and pray not to experience is being dragged before the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, known as LPDC. The last thing a lawyer will want to experience is to be debarred or suspended as a legal practitioner. It's not just a disgrace to the legal practitioner himself, but it brings shame to your spouses, children, family members, and friends. And as of today, the directions given by the LPDC are now being reported in a law report since last year. So, no matter what it is, even if it is 20 years' time, if you were debarred, your name will be in those reports. It is therefore my advice to you to keep within the acceptable standard of ethical conduct in legal practice. You must not cut corners with get-rich syndrome. Your position today as a lawyer will put you in a place of trust between you and your clients. It is akin to a situation where, if it was humanly possible for a person to detach and give for safekeeping the most important part of his body and entrust it to a person, that person is a lawyer whom you are today. This is the standard and expectation of the public and members of the profession, which we demand of you always. It goes with very high responsibility and integrity. Hence, we pride ourselves as gentlemen of the bar. No other profession can claim that. This claim has come through the ages of the profession, which you now belong, and you must not bring this esteemed end name down by any of your conduct as a legal practitioner that will rub negatively on the profession. The body of benchers is now more proactive to deal speedily with dispatch matters of professional misconduct against erring members to the bar. This is the reason in the past 2 years we have established the IT Center for Disciplinary Committee where proceedings can be recorded electronically and via Zoom to minimize the time spent in dealing with disciplinary matters. Also, the body of benchers is building 2 court halls within the complex, which when completed, will help the LPDC sit in panels in different courtrooms at the same time, all aimed at making sure that disciplinary matters are heard speedily. It is my wish and prayer that none of you will be dragged by anybody to the LPDC in your practice as legal practitioners. Finally, on this, I must not fail to mention that even before your call today, some of you have shown unethical conduct by sending out invitation on Facebook and other social media platforms, fully dressed as lawyers, without first being called to the bar. It is an offense to put on the lawyer's robe without being called to the bar. In view of this, it is my view that it is a misconduct without first being called to the bar for you to put on the lawyer's robe. Those involved, which we have empirical evidence on, may face disciplinary committee after being called to the bar. And I have directed that your call to the bar certificate be withheld by the law school pending the decision of the body on what action to be taken. This should serve as a deterrent to law students to desist from acts before they are called to the bar, as the same is an offense under the Legal Practitioners Act. And I've also said the law school must henceforth emphasize this to the students during the course of their training. Another thing I mentioned in this speech is the use of the word barrister. Most of you, after being called today, when they ask you, what is your name? I am barrister this. It is unprofessional. Barrister is not a title, and you should desist from using it as a title. At times, you use it to intimidate people so that they know you are a lawyer. And in most cases, our colleagues in politics, since they are not in active practice and they want to show people that they are lawyers, they use the word barrister before their names. And I've advised that we should desist from using the word barrister as a title. As new weeks, being lawyers today with your call to the bar, you are like a golden fish which has no hiding place. Going forward, organizations and bodies that you may already belong to will have more respect for you because you are a lawyer, and greater responsibilities will be assigned to you unlike before. As young lawyers, the sky is the starting point in the profession. This, however, is subject only to hard work, maintenance of the highest form of ethical behavior, integrity in your person, and as a privileged member of the noble profession. The quest to be wealthy is not a sprint, but an unending marathon. Be patient. It is a natural benefit and reward to those who work hard and keep their integrity as well, as give respect and regard to the ethics of the profession. One thing you must imbibe while in practice is to show absolute respect to the bench. Whenever the court delivers judgment against you, resist the urge to be rude or condescending. Always accord the court the respect it is deserving by bowing to the court to say, as the court pleases, even though they may have decided against you. In recent times, we see lawyers addressing the press after court proceedings with their wig on their head. Please note that this is unprofessional. More worrisome is when a lawyer begins to malign a judge in making comments on his judgment at press briefing. This is a conduct most unbecoming of a lawyer, and we often see this on television these days. No matter how provoked or triggered you are, please do not exchange words with the bench. The option is always open to you, my new weeks, to test any judgment on appeal if not satisfied, but not the court of public opinion and press briefing. Congratulations. On the 18th of June 18th of June 2026, the class set of 1971 celebrated their 55 years call to the bar. And we have two of members of that class present with us. His Lordship, my Lord Justice Mahmoud Mohammed, GCON, life bencher, former Chief Justice of Nigeria, and former chairman of this body. Honorable Justice Eri, CON, life bencher, pioneer Chief Judge of Kogi State, former administrator, NGI, amongst others. Also, the class of 1976 celebrated their golden jubilee on the 4th of July 2026. We congratulate all of them. But the greatest of all, I must congratulate members of my class set of 1981 who will be celebrating their 45 years anniversary call to bar on the 11th of July 2026. This course set to which I belong has broken records in the history of the legal profession in Nigeria by producing 3 Chief Justices of Nigeria in quick succession, with Honorable Justice Dr. Tanko Mohammed, GCON, and former chairman, followed by the immediate past chairman of this body and the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariwola, GCON, under whom I served as vice chairman, and also the current Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kekere Ekun, who is the vice chairman of this body. In addition, this class has produced a lot of senior advocates of Nigeria, chief judges of several courts, but for time, I will not read their names. I have deliberately ruled out some names in the 1981 class set, and to let you new weeks know and be challenged that with focus and hard work, you are all potential justices of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal, chief judges and judges of the High Court, including magistrates and president of customary court. For those who will remain at the bar, most of you will become senior advocates of Nigeria and heads of important organizations that may need your legal services. This is my prayer for you. The beauty of the legal profession is that from today, you have unhindered access to appear in court, from Supreme Court to Court of Appeal, High Court, and of course the Magistrate Court and the Area Customary Court, where most new will begin their practice. And against any lawyer, including senior advocates of Nigeria, no matter your age notwithstanding. Having called you to the bar today as chairman of this distinguished body, I have special interest in your progress as members of this profession. Consequently, my eyes are on you, and I pray that you will do as much, and if possible, better than my class set of 1981, whom we congratulate. In conclusion, on behalf of the body of benchers, I welcome you all, my new learned friends, and I wish you and your proud parents success in your wise decision to belong to this one and only learned profession of law on earth, and also probably in heaven. We'll determine that when we get there. I pray you will use a good opportunity, having been admitted to the bar today, that you will make the profession better than you met it. That you met it for the overall interest, benefits of the profession and humanity. May I request all the new weeks to be upstanding, to take the pledge. Or favor, affection, or will, or favor, affection, or will, ill will. I thank you all for your audience. I pray God in His infinite mercy will bless all of us and grant us safe journey to our respective destinations. Thank you and God bless.
By the order of the body of benchers, I now declare this call to bar ceremony closed. The order of recess after the national anthem shall be as follows. The chairman and members of the body of benchers will file out first, followed by the academic and professional staff of the Nigerian Law School, invited guests, while the new weeks will file out last. Each new week should ensure that he pick up his or her call to bear certificate before leaving this auditorium, including the qualifying certificate. Thank you and God bless.